Hi, I'm Sarah with the Volusia County Public Library System, coming to you from Ormond Beach Regional Library. And on this episode of Volusia Gets Crafty, I'm going to show you how to crochet this ribbed dishcloth. Now, it comes from one of our digital ebooks on Hoopla, so if you haven't already downloaded that app, I would encourage you to look into it. We have some titles that are only offered digitally, as is this case. We have about 4 ebooks that are specifically geared toward crochet dishcloths. So if you're interested in this pattern or others like it, you should look into that. Now, this pattern will use V-stitches, which we've learned in a previous video, and it's also going to learn, I'm also going to teach you how to do a back post double crochet. Now, if you've been watching my previous videos, you'll know that that's a new stitch to us, so I'm going to take my time with that and hopefully you'll be able to grasp it. So other than that new stitch, there's only a 2-stitch increase each round, so it's a very easy pattern to remember. You probably won't need to reference the pattern all that much, but once again, I encourage you to download that ebook and check out the pattern too. Whenever you're ready, why don't you grab a hook and some yarn, and let's go get started. Okay, so today we're going to get started on the ribbed hexagon dishcloth. Now, once again, this pattern can be found through one of our digital resources called Hoopla. You're going to want to search for the title Make It Tonight Easy Dishcloths by Darla Sims, and this pattern can be found on pages 27 through 29 of that resource. So today we're going to be using cotton yarn. This is a variegated yarn. I'm going to use a solid yarn so it's a little bit easier for you to see the stitches. But once again, it's cotton for its durability in the kitchen, and it can withstand the heat quite a bit as well. All right, so we're going to start off by chaining up 4. And we're going to do 11 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. So it's going to be the very first chain that you made. So we're going to yarn over and go into that first stitch, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's a double crochet. You're going to put 11 in that very same space, just like that. So keep going until you have 11, and meet me back. You'll have 11 double crochets plus those 3 chains that we skipped at the beginning. I'll meet you back when you hit that point. Okay, so I've just done my 11 double crochets. I also have that chain 3 that we skipped at the beginning. So we're going to go into the top of those 3 chains, and that's where we're going to slip stitch. So pull through and pull through, because that closes our circle. Okay, now to do round 2, it says in the instructions to turn your work. I didn't find that you really need to turn your work. You can if you want to. I'm not going to though. And then it also says to slip stitch into the chain 1 space. And I, for the life of me, couldn't find a chain 1 space according to the pattern. But what I think it means is that it wants you to go in between the place where you slip stitch. See this long? That counts as a double crochet. And then the next one right there. So it wants you to go in this space between those 2. I'm thinking that's what it means, because my pattern turned out good and I'm running with it. So slip stitch into that spot. So that's where you're working from, into the space between. And what you're going to do is you're going to chain 4. And then you're going to put another double crochet in that same space right there. Okay. And now we're going to do a back post double crochet. Now, do you remember when we did the front post double crochet? We yarned over to do the front post. We came in from the front, so this is the next post that we're going to work around. And to do the front post, we came into the right, behind it, and back out the front, so it popped it forward. We yarned over, pulled through, and then we completed our double crochet as normal. Do you remember that? So to do a back post double crochet, it's a little bit more tricky, but once you get used to the technique, you're going to love it, because it makes a really pretty effect when you're crocheting. What you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and hold your yarn back. I kind of like to use this finger to keep it out of the way. And you're going to come from behind. You're still going to come on the right-hand side of that post, but then you're going to come over top of it and back out the back. So you're popping the post backward for the back post double crochet. You're going to put your yarn over your hook. I find it helps to kind of hold onto your project, because you're going to pull that yarn back through, and then you're going to complete out your double crochet, pulling through 2, pulling through 2. So it's pulling the post back, but the top of the stitch you can see kind of moves forward, and that's what gives it that ridged effect that you get going all the way around for the ribbed hexagon. Okay, So we're going to do 2 of those. So we're going to do another back post double crochet. So yarn over, kind of move that back and use your finger to hold it back. Come in behind and come into the next post on the right hand side. You're going to go over top of it and out the back. So it's popping the post backward. Yarn over and pull the yarn back through. That's the part that can take some practice, you guys. You'll figure out how you need to hold your hook and pull it to get it through without catching. But then complete out your double crochet. Okay, so 2 back post double crochets. Now right after that back post, that's the one we did a post into right there, we're going to pull those apart and there's our space again. We're going to put a V-stitch, which is what that was at the beginning, but it's a little odd because that's our starting one, so we had that chain 4. Our V-stitch, remember, we yarn over. We're going to go into that space. We're going to put a double crochet, a chain 1, and another double crochet. That's a V-stitch. You see that, how it looks like a little V? Okay. Now we're going to do 2 back post double crochets. So yarn over, pull the yarn back. So here's your next post right here, okay? Come into the right of the post and back out over the top and back out the back. You can put your yarn over your hook, pull the yarn through, and kind of wiggle it if you need to, and do a double crochet. And do that one more time. This first round of back post double crochets is the hardest, you guys, because you've got 11 or 12, you know, with the beginning chain 3 stitches into that first initial loop. So they're really tight in there. So if you can get past this round, it gets easier to do the back post double crochets. So there's our 2 back post double crochets. We're going to go into the space now. Right after that post we just went around, we're going to go into the space and do another V-stitch. So that's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right, we'll do it one more time together. So a back post double crochet around the next one. So come in from the back, over the top, back out the back. Pull the yarn through and complete your double crochet. And one more time. Come from the back, over it, back out the back, pull the yarn through, and double crochet. And then into the space following that post, you're going to put your V-stitch. Our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So I'm going to let you continue that for the rest of these stitches, back post double crochet around the next 2, and then into the space following that you're going to put your V-stitch. And I'll meet you back at the end and show you how to end this row. All right, so I'm at the end of round 2. I've put my 2 back post double crochets around the last 2 stitches from the row below, and I'm back to where I had that beginning chain 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom. So there's your first one, there's your second, and there's your 3rd. And we're going to go into that 3rd chain, pull through and pull through. So that makes that beginning one look like a V-stitch. So we're going to do another one of those for round 3. We're going to slip stitch into the space in the V-stitch right here. So we're going to slip stitch to get ourselves positioned and ready to go. All right, so we're in the right spot. We're going to do another beginning V-stitch, which is the chain 4. That counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. And then the next one is another double crochet. So that makes our beginning V-stitch. That's a little wonky, but that's how we have to do it. Okay. Now we're going to do a back post double crochet into the next 4 stitches. Okay, so each round you're going to increase by doing 2 more back post double crochets than you did the previous round. So the first round we did 2 back post double crochets. This time we're going to do 4. The next round we'll do 6. The next round 8. So it increases by 2 each time. So we're going to yarn over and go behind the post of this first one, and it's that first post of your V-stitch. Okay, so that's the one you're doing it around. And we're going to yarn over and pull your loop up, pull through 2, pull through 2. Yarn over, move that yarn back, come behind to the right of the next post, go over top of it and back out the back, put your yarn over your hook, pull it back through. Oh, I lost, but looks like I split my yarn. Let's try it again. This is real time, guys. We're going to pull the yarn through and pull through 2, pull through 2. This can happen to you too. So I mean, it's real, okay? So there's 2 back post double crochets, yarn over, and you'll see how they're standing apart a little bit more than that first round, so it's a little bit easier getting your hook in and out of these stitches this time around because it's a little bit more wide. Okay, we'll do our last one around this. Now here's our V-stitch, but this last post is part of this V-stitch. Okay. And if you need to use your fingers to help yourself pull that through, go for it. So there's 4 back post double crochets, and now we're at our V-stitch. We're going to put another V-stitch right into that chain 1 space. So that's a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same place. Okay, we'll do that one more time, one more side. So this is a hexagon, so we've got all the sides of it that we're going to do, and they'll all be the same. So yarn over, come in from behind, go over top of the post, back out the back, yarn over your hook, pull it through, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So you'll kind of figure out the best way for you to manipulate your yarn to be able to get it to pull through and hopefully not fray like mine is doing right there. But it just takes practice. This is a very popular stitch in a lot of patterns. You'll see it used over and over again. So if you can get to know it, get comfortable with it, it'll open up a lot of doors for more patterns for you. So I've reached my corner with the V-stitch. I'm going to put another V-stitch into this chain 1 space. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. All right, so that's how we're going to continue all the way around. Put a back post double crochet in each of the next 4 double crochets, and put a V-stitch in the chain 1 space of your next V-stitch. And continue that all the way around. I'll meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, so I've come back around to the end of round 3. I've got my 4 back post double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to slip stitch to the 3rd chain from the bottom here of that original chain 4. So the 3rd chain up, and that will complete out that V-stitch. So for the next round, round 4, we're going to slip stitch into that chain 1 space to get ourselves situated. And we're going to chain up 4 to do another beginning V-stitch. And then another double crochet into that same space. Okay, now so for this round we're increasing by 2 stitches. So instead of 4 we have 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget these V-stitches, the interior ones counts as those back post double crochets. So you're going to put a back post double crochet around each of those 6 stitches, and then when you reach the next corner chain 1 space in that V-stitch, you'll put another V-stitch. So if you want to count, you can count and increase by 2 each round as you make this bigger and bigger, or you just know once you hit the end of your double crochet section and you hit your chain 1 space, you can do another V-stitch. So you really don't even need to count if you're feeling confident with the looks of your stitches. So I'll let you continue this around this round, and once we reach the end, I will bring in my example and we can just talk a little bit about that and finish off this project. All right, so I've come back around. I just wanted to give you a little peek at this the last couple stitches because they kind of sometimes overlap. You can see how you may miss, but kind of pull them apart and see that there are 2. So you're going to go back post double crochet around each of them, and that's your beginning chain right there. So that one looks a little different, but don't forget that. And then once you're done, you're going to do a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom. Okay. So I was just talking with my friends who are helping me film today, and we thought this looked like a cute coaster size. So you could stop at any point, guys. The sample or the instructions say to go until you have 20 back post double crochets on each of these sides. That would give you a project that measures about 12 inches. But what I like about this too is they classify it as a dishcloth, but guys, look at how thick that is. It adds the back post double crochet adds a lot of texture and thickness. So if you wanted to use this as a trivet or a pot holder, by all means, this would be a great use for that as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, I'd like to encourage you to check out Hoopla because this is where this pattern came from. There's a couple other books that are specifically geared towards dishcloths on that platform as well. So take a peek at those. They're a lot of fun. In the meantime, you can find videos like this and more on Volusia Library's YouTube channel. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.